like for us to be succinct and not just make it a dialogue, so that we can wrap up our meeting and have some time also off the clock to discuss things as well too. So I'm not sure which of the members, I know Margie, you had asked for time, so we'd like to start it out.
Sure. This whole situation has been very distressing for a lot of us. And I wish I were a more eloquent speaker because I really have some points I want to make very strongly. 5 of us are here, 4 tonight and Michael, because of the people that you see right here. For 14 years, they have been working tirelessly to get elected representation. Ignoring all those years of work, ignoring the precedent was outrageous in my mind. And that's why some of us sent a letter to the governor. I feel a very strong commitment to this community to do everything I can to make it the best place I can make it. And that's why I'm torn. It would be very dramatic to say I'm not staying on a board where this can happen and walk off and photo ops and everything. But I'm torn between that and the oath that I took to stay here until 2013 and do everything I can for the community. I'm choosing to stay on the board and do that, but I don't want anyone to perceive that as my thinking that this was not an awful, terrible, outrageous thing to do. I am so proud of the people that stood up to make those points that they made today. And I'm extraordinarily concerned about the conflict of interest issue that Rick brought up and that I've seen before. All of us were vetted by the state, and several of us had to get dropped off of RIOC because of perceived conflict of interest with just that little organization. I had to personally drop off of the River Cross Board of Directors because of it, and I think that's the right thing to do. I think the perception that any of us have any conflict of interest can destroy the validity of this board. Because of that, I'm going to ask Mr. Ferrara to please rethink your position. Think very strongly about what's right for this community, and please think about resigning.
I'm sure that there are other members that want to speak.
Yeah, I would like to say something. I think, I can't speak for the whole board, but I know that a number of us were quite upset about what happened. And I have to tell you that I was especially upset about Jonathan Calvin being removed. I don't think that people, I'm sure that a lot of people here will appreciate how much he contributed to the board and to the operation of this island. And I personally view that as a very significant loss, particularly while we were in the middle of some significant projects that were going on, such as the privatization of island, for an example. And because of his background as a lawyer, and also his experience with real estate, and because he was able, in a very, very nice way, to put in so much time, I really, I know he's going to get a plaque and everything, but I'm not sure that it was fully appreciated in Albany what an extremely valued member he was of this board. And I personally consider this to be a great loss, and I think it's created a vacuum. And I think that had there been another election, and had Jonathan been a candidate in a future election, I really honestly truly that he would have been overwhelmingly voted back in.
I have to admit that I too was very saddened, very outraged, very angry, and I found, and Margie's right, I too had to resign from the Westview Task Force, and I'm sure most of us, others had to do the same thing. And Jonathan did everything. Not only joke about how he's a computer expert or technology, but he is so knowledgeable. Whatever he doesn't know, he knows it tomorrow because he is that intelligent. And I really, truly enjoyed working with you, Jonathan, and I miss you, and I want you back. And I don't I really feel that the board has really a deep hole. You left a deep hole, not on your own volition, but a deep hole has been left. And there isn't, we have, I was elected, well, appointed by the governor. So my position, which has expired, he could have chosen me, which he should have, because I think that would have been less of a loss. However, I don't know how he made this decision.
Senator Golden.
Yes. But
It sounded like.
But I would definitely, I've been sitting around, all of us have been sitting around, trying to figure out how we can correct this. And what can we do? I mean, we've written a letter, we've contacted our representatives, and they have been most helpful. However, we have to really look at the governor can do what he wants to do. And I feel that we cannot, but with your residents, with the people, he's supposed to be for the people and democracy. But then on the other hand, Margie, I felt that resigning, resignation would have been wrong. Because then, you can just put anyone after that. We say, oh, we have some vacancies, I can do this person and that person. So that was, the right decision is to say, look, let him make the decisions, the wrong decisions. If he's going to do it, we don't help him. So that was the way I said it. Jonathan, next election, you can be back.
I was stunned by the lack of process and the lack of thought that seemed to prevail in these actions. I can't believe that there was no consultation with Micah and with Senator Serrano. They would have spoken to those who didn't know of the vast contributions that Jonathan's been making to the board. So the fact that he's chair of two very key committees and just holes are left is mind-boggling. I don't think there was real forethought in that. And it's very disappointing to see that in the administration. And also, Dr. Ferreira, I have to question your independence as far as many of the issues presented to the board. Certainly you're qualified to be on the board. Certainly you're interested in aspects of this community that you're acquainted with. However, like 5 of the members of the board now, I've gone through a vetting process. And part of the result of that vetting process is becoming acquainted with the various communities of interest here on the island. Now, there are always competing interests, but to learn who they are, in order to hear their voices, is key. I didn't think of resigning, even though this is a very substantial time commitment. And it was to get on the board, it was to go through the vetting process. It was to be vetted by the city, to be vetted by the state, to be interviewed at both levels. Because of the oath that I took as a director to be fiduciary to the corporation and further the interests of the community as best I could. So, and as long as I'm on the board, I'll continue to do that. But I wish that a formalization occurs in Albany so that the 5 community members, if that's what we're to be, as it stands now by statute, need to go through a vetting process and need to be the product of a referendum of some sort through the community, if not a direct election, which is really more than I hope for in the near term.
700 homes are in jeopardy now.
Other comments from members?
700 families are in jeopardy now.
Please have respect for the board members. We want to hear. The community board members trying to speak. Community board members.
Howard, we spoke with 5 members of